Stitching Ewe and More podcast. I'm Amanda, your host, also known as Little Panda 518 on Instagram and Ravelry. You can also find me on Facebook, but there I'm under Stitch Together 4G. That's kind of our little family page that we have going on there for all of our 4 generations of crafting. Let's see, it is a bright sunny day. I actually had to close the curtain today because it was a little overpowering. So I'm hoping that lighting throughout the rest of this is going to be a-okay. I'm finally back to you guys after a week. It's been another one of those weeks where I've had up days and down days, but I think I've actually touched yarn every day this week, unlike last week where I missed some days. Once again, I'm without show notes. I was so excited to come in and get the camera set up and get all my projects in here. I'm like, what the hey? I'll just record without show notes again. So thanks for sticking with me. I want to thank everyone for coming back and viewing, or if you're new, thank you for checking me out. Hope you enjoy. I think I'm going to start with the FOs this week because I'm super excited. I have another pair of socks done. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen these already, but ooh, there's the lights. Craziness. Okay, so we'll go here. So these are my Regia Floramania socks. I should have grabbed the ball band so I could get the colorway number, but Regia just does numbers, so it wouldn't really be all that exciting anyway. But let me hold this a little bit closer. Oh, if the light will let me. Let's see. Okay, so maybe right there you can see the pattern, even though I'm terribly having the sun coming in. These are the Hermione's Everyday Socks. I use that pattern for these, and I did a Fish Kiss Lips heel, which is my absolute favoriteest heel ever. So, another pair of socks done. Quite proud of myself that that is sock number 2. So I'm now 2 for 2 for socks. Well, my first pair of socks took me a couple months, but this one I did in under a month. Maybe a month and a couple days. It's on my project page on Ravelry. But almost in a month for an entire pair of socks, which I'm quite proud of myself. And of course, that's all I have finished this week. And here in a little bit, you'll understand why. But if you have socks off the needles, which speaking of needles, I used my Addy Turbo. They are a US 1.5. So I use those. So speaking of needles, socks off the needles means socks on the needles. So this pair I decided to go down, that wasn't quite as dense as I was hoping. So I went down to a size 1 this time. And it's a size 1, US 1 knit, and they're Knit Picks needles. And I have finally cast on Mustache Yarns Martian Rainbow. This is my first pair of self-striping socks, and I'm so excited. This is my first. I have been like dying to work with Mustache yarn for a really long time, and I was never able to catch her shop updates until my wonderful, amazing friend Tish, who has the Southern Girl Knits podcast, snagged up some yarn for me when she was at the Dallas Fiber Fest. So I have cast on. I am just getting ready to hit the purple, and I'm just hitting the leg of the sock, so I finally finished my ribbing. And one cool thing about this yarn is, I should have kept this one out, but this is one of Mustache Sheep's Perfect Sock OCD kits. So when it comes, it looks like it's one hank when it's all twisted up and cute, but when you untwist it, it has 2 smaller hanks that are then twisted together. So it will, each sock is going to start at exactly the same spot, so the socks will OCD match. So, thought that was pretty cool. So I'll put a stitch marker in so I can show you guys next week how far I make it. But I have, it's like the 3 different shades of green, and the blue is the ribbing, and I just hit the first line of purple. So those are on its way, and it's in a cute little bag that I made. I think I've shown this before. It's one of my sock drawstring bags with the grosgrain ribbon for the pole. Absolutely adore that bag, and fingers crossed my Etsy shop will be open here within the next couple of weeks, which I'm super excited for that. So my next work in progress, I just started the other day. As you'll be able to tell, I haven't put... Let me go back. Let me start back a little bit. So I got this amazing package from Rachel, Love Knots. I know I talk about her pretty much every podcast, but she's that awesome. And she sent me an amazing box, and I opened it up, and she scored a Namaste bag for me. I had been eyeing this bag for ages. Ever since she introduced me to Namaste bags, I just couldn't pull the trigger at the retail cost of the bag, and she found it as an amazing discount. I believe she found it on eBay. Absolutely love this bag. My favorite color, my favorite style of bags. I should have grabbed it and brought it in here, but it's one of the Namaste mini messengers, and I believe it's called the Caribbean blue color. It's like the tealy color. Absolutely love it. It's been storing all of my project bags when I go out and about. Absolutely love it. Rachel's a super, super dear friend. And in that bag, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but she made me this light is going a little bit crazy. Let me see if I can roll forward here without making everyone sick. There we go. So it's a stitch marker necklace, and she made, it's a purple yarn ball. She made that stitch marker. And then I have a sweater and a little skein of yarn stitch marker on here right now. I just put a couple on here, and I have this little birdhouse stitch marker too, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. But I just put a couple, let me roll back. There we go. I just put a couple stitch markers on here so I can wear it and be cute. And also, the amazingness that Rachel is, also sent me, she made a Grey Garden turban out of this same yarn, and I wanted one too, so she sent me her leftovers. And so of course I had to cast on. I'm only a row in. But this is the Grey Garden turban head wrap. Don't remember, the pattern is just called Grey Garden on Ravelry. And this is the first time I've used straight needles in a really long time. They're a size 8. So I pulled those out of my needle bouquet that I keep on my coffee table that my cats love to knock over. So got that cast on. And if you'll remember, I'm still a fairly new knitter. And I was knitting along, and then I hit the pattern and it says M1, which is a make one. I have read the instructions on how to do a make one probably about 5 times now, and then I got frustrated, so I just jammed the needles back in my project bag. So if you have any good tutorials or are really good about typing and teaching someone how to do a make one, let me know. Comment in the Ravelry group on this episode's thread, because I have tried to do the make one how it is in the pattern, and for some reason I cannot figure it out. So everyone learns something new every day, so I will learn how to do a make one of these days, because I really want this headband. If you want to see a finished one, hop on over to Rachel's podcast. She has one in her giveaway that she's doing, and I believe she maybe has a project page. I know it's possibly on her Instagram page. So yeah, really want to make that. It'll be super cute for this summer. I'm normally a person that my hair is always in a ponytail or always in a bun. And then I got the crazy idea and I chopped it all off this winter. And it's just quite now hitting the length to where I can pull it back into a ponytail. But I still kind of have all these lovely flyaways that I've now dyed teal. So I don't know how well you can see it, but on my Instagram you can definitely tell I have teal hair now. And I really want a headband to wear this summer, because I hate when I get sweaty when I'm outside and those flyaways stick to my neck. I know it's probably really gross and probably something y'all didn't want to know. But hey, everyone's human. So I want to get this headband done so I can wear it a lot this summer. So I have one more work in progress, if I can say the words. And you'll kind of notice I've taken a little bit of break from crocheting. I don't really know what's going on with me, but I've just been really in a knitting kick lately. So, and that'll really show in this work in progress. So yarn, once again, is by the amazing Love Knots. It's a variegated from, it's got like lime green into lime green, I can't talk, green, it's not that hard of a word. Lime green into like a seafoam green and a teal, and then it has some like undyed natural spots. Absolutely amazing. And I cast on my sweater and the yarn just fell off the table. Okay, so this sweater is the Winter's Tree by Alicia someone. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I have started my project page for this. And this is the project that has gotten I can't even fit it all in here. There we go. This project has gotten the majority of my attention this week. For some reason, I cast on and could not set this down. Now, one would ask themselves, I live in Arkansas. We have finally hit May. I'm not going to be wearing a sweater anytime soon, but I cannot stop working on this project. I can't. I go and I sit on the couch and I turn on a podcast, and what project bag do I pick up? The one that has my sweater. And when I get started, I'm not a huge fan of knitting ribbing. I love the look of it. Don't really like it as much. And of course, I've been working on the ribbing of my socks. This pattern started with 5 inches of a 2x1 ribbing. So I finally hit that. I was on a VKN this last week with Sarah, the Canadian knitter, and Sue from Two Tangled Skeins, and we were talking, and I was kind of complaining about the ribbing, and it was really nice because I was able to sit and knit up the ribbing and talk to those amazing gals. And I know there were some other people in there too. I'm terrible with remembering names. I will slowly remember everyone's name who was on there. But we were talking about different ways to put in stitch markers and see how, you know, so I can see the progress that I've been making. Because when I was talking to them, I was only about 3 inches into the ribbing, and I literally thought I was going to die. Not literally, but the ribbing at that point was going to kill me because I was so tired of doing ribbing. But I hit the 5 inches, and then it's like I have been flying ever since. I'm in some of the decrease rows. Not decrease, the side shaping, moving up. And I have a couple more of the decrease rows, and then it'll just be straight garter for a couple inches. But it is a bottom up sweater. Well, it's a bottom up cardigan that's an asymmetrical, so the button line kind of comes, it's not in the center here, it's kind of more over here, and I absolutely love the look of those cardigans. And it's moving along. I'm probably almost at the 9-inch mark, so I'm quite proud of myself that this is moving along. And it's going amazingly for being a very new-ish knitter. I can't put my sweater down. And the yarn is beyond amazing. I don't even know if this camera, see that sun is kind of hitting me kind of weird. So I'm hoping that you guys can see the amazingness of the yarn, because Rachel is just that amazing. So that's kind of, I don't have that much to show this week because a lot of my time was spent working on my sweater. And as soon as I get this edited and hopefully started uploading, I'm going to plant myself back on the couch and work on my sweater some more, because that's what I feel like doing. So I've kind of got that going on. And I know I talked last week that I wanted to cast on the striped study shawl, I still have the yarn here, haven't cast it on yet. Kind of hit sweater fever, hence like 9 inches of a sweater being knit. I'm on the second skein of yarn already, y'all. I was knitting along, and then I realized, oh, there's not much left. The Canadian knitter Sarah also did a second VKN on Saturday, which I popped in for probably about 30 minutes. Everyone was kind of wrapping up when I was getting on, but I had come to the end of my first skein while I was on that VKN. So my other upcoming will be the stripe study that I talked about last podcast, and that shawl is by Vera Vaccamelli. Vaccamelli? It's one of the... I have a hard time with names, y'all. It's kind of out there. And I also want to get this yarn. Let me try it there. Okay. It's like a pastel-y rainbow of awesomeness, also dyed by Love Knots. This is going to become another bear, like this one, that is my design. I'm going to teach him in my class that I'm going to teach at the Arkansas Fiber Fest in September. So I've got working out a few kinks. So this amazingness will soon be my bear. And I haven't had very many people pop over into the Ravelry group. This is an unnamed bear. I really need help naming him. And whosever name I pick, I will gift you the free pattern once I have it released. So this little bear needs a name, and he wants you to help. He doesn't like not having a name. It's a he, she, don't quite know yet, but he's awful cute. So yeah, jump on over in Ravelry. The Ravelry group is Stitching Ewe and More Podcast, and the E is EWE. I would love to be able to chat with you over there. Would love to see you. Let's see, my week. My week has been it started off pretty good. I got the package from Rachel in the mail this week, which I talked about my fabulousness from her. And then I also got, Little Bobbins Knit had a cup cozy swap, and I have received my package. My partner and I were kind of running behind the time frame of their swap, and I got my swap in the mail. I was so excited. Mine came all the way from the United Kingdom. And I Diane, finally have your package sent out. I was running a bit behind, trying to keep the sun off the top of my head. I was running a bit behind, but her package did get mailed. So your stuff, if you're watching, which I know you've said you've caught a couple episodes, your package is en route. So it will be there shortly, however long it takes to go from Arkansas to the United Kingdom. So my favorite color is teal, so she knit me a cabled, see if I can get where the sun's not crazy, a cabled cup cozy that has the most adorable little star button. Maybe if I can get past the sun. Maybe. It's cute. And it has this adorable little tag that says, made with love. I kind of almost don't want to take the tag off. I'm thinking I may just leave the tag on there because I think it's cute. I probably should have taken this out of the crinkly bag beforehand, but that's okay. So I got a Crunch milk chocolate bar, which I've never had before, so you guys are lucky because I almost dived into this the other night, but then I was telling myself I had to be able to show y'all. And then I got some mini cheddars as well, which, feeling through the package, they might be like our goldfish. I'll let you guys know next week because I'm sure I'll dig into them at some point. And then I got some tea, which I left even all tied up because I wanted to be able to show you. So it's Twinnings, and I have raspberry, strawberry, and loganberry. Never heard of loganberry, so I'm interested to try that. Cranberry and something orange. Yeah, not even gonna try that. But these are all fresh and fruity teas. This one is strawberry mango. It is like one of my all-time favorites for tea, so I'm really, really excited to try that one. And then I have cranberry, raspberry, and elderflower. And then I have black currant, ginseng, and vanilla. So all of these teas sound amazing. Pretty sure I'm going to have some hot tea, and I may dig into that chocolate when I'm working on my sweater here in a little bit. And she also sent me this adorable card. I'm just going to show you the front of it. And it happens. So since I love doing swaps, and I was able to get some postcards for here locally. So if you want to do a postcard swap with me or a card swap or something, I'd be more than happy. I'm trying to decide if I want to make like an area in here, because this is my craft room, but it's also our guest room and kind of right now our storage room for the time being. So I'm trying to decide if I want to make like a wall for like postcards, but I've also thought about putting together like a knit journal. I know Minerva Turkey, Shannon of the Minerva Turkey podcast, and also Beth of the Foxes and Socks podcast, they both do knit journals, and I'm really liking that idea. As you can tell over here, all of this is scrapbooking stuff, because I got bit by the scrapbooking bug. Well, I'll rewind that. It wasn't scrapbooking, it was smashbooking, and so I got bit with that bug, and I was working on those, and I got I did some pages in a smash book. I love the paper crafting, but really, I'd much rather spend my time working with yarn and knitting or crocheting something, or even sewing. So all the smash booking, you can see, oh, you can't see them. The smash, well, yeah, you can. They're kind of up here. I have some of the smash journals that were put out in like Michael's and things like that, but they're still blank. But I'm really liking the idea of a knit journal. That way I can kind of keep, because like all the yarns that I use, like especially since I've moved more away from the acrylic and more into like indie dyed and things like that, I'm keeping a little sample of every yarn I've ever used. And I want to make like little cards, or you know, just like take a note card and wrap the yarn around it, and just write a little note to myself about where the hand-dyed yarn came from and the project it was used in. Because I think that would be something cool to hang on to, because project pages in Ravelry are awesome for pictures and logging, you know, when you started a project, when you ended a project. But I like to know this, I'm kind of sentimental a little bit. And I like to know where the yarns came from and what I used them in and things like that. And especially since Rachel dyes a lot of my yarn that I use, I think it would just be really cool to kind of track all the different yarns that she's made for me and the different projects that I've turned them into. So I'm thinking about doing that. What do you guys think? Do you guys use just your project pages in Ravelry, or do you kind of keep some of like handwritten notebook? I have noticed I am much more of a hands-on. I have tried my hardest to do like using my Google Calendar for all of my scheduling and everything, because I have an Android phone too, so it syncs up with my phone so I can see my calendar on my phone or if I'm on a computer. And for work we use Google Calendar, so it's all synced all in one place. But there are some times that I just need the tactile touch of paper. So I am working back into getting my day planner put back together, and that way I can kind of have more of a tactile piece of planner in my hands. So I'm working on that. I guess that kind of falls into another crafty section, because I do design all my own project pages and print them and all that jazz. I'm a graphic designer by day, and so it's always, I know you can get on Pinterest or even Google planner pages, and there's all sorts of pages out there, but I think it's that designer part of my brain that I can just never find the perfect layout for me. So I'm gonna work on getting some of those designed and printed, as so it kind of falls in my other crafty creative area. I've got some more I've got fabric cut out. I just need to get back to my sewing machine. I've kind of had a rough week pain-wise. We've had the weather is fantastic outside. This week we've kind of been hitting our high 70s, our 80s, but to start off the week we had a ton of rain, and rain just does me in. So by the time I get home from work, I make it as far as the couch. And I just pick up my knitting and crocheting because there's no way I can sit at a sewing machine. So I'm hoping this week we've got some better weather and that it helps my body a little bit. The countdown is on. I see the doctor on the 26th of May. So I'm super excited. That appointment was made all the way back in February. So that day will make me very happy when I get to see him and hopefully get some answers and figure out what's going on, because I have absolutely no idea. Let's see. I kind of keep talking about my week and then I venture off on some other weird tangent. So back to my week. Started out rainy. Did a VKN on Wednesday, which I've talked about. Thursday I had my typical Dungeons and Dragons game. It was pretty fabulous. I'm that nerdy girl. The Hubs DMs the game and we play every week. I've noticed I talk to a lot of Canadians. I watch a couple Canadian podcasts, and then in my D&D game we play with a couple from Canada. So must be something about Canada that I like. And then Friday night we just kind of played it cool. We are working our way through the Daredevil, wow, what words am I searching for? The Daredevil season on Netflix. We made it up to we have 3 episodes left. So we ended episode 9 Friday night. No, maybe we watched an episode or 2 Friday night. And then I think maybe, I don't remember. My Friday and Saturday are kind of going together. And then Saturday we just kind of had a real relaxed day. We went out and had sushi for lunch. I don't eat the raw fish sushi, but there are some sushi rolls that I really enjoy. And so we went to our local Japanese hibachi restaurant, but we just got a regular table and we just kind of sat and spent some time together, because the Hubs and I really haven't had a weekend that's been just the 2 of us in quite some time, so it was really nice to have that time. And then after sushi for lunch, we went and saw Marvel's Avengers Age of Ultron, which the Hubs has wanted to see that for, I think ever since he saw the trailer for it. So of course, the good wife that I am, and I love everything Marvel. I mean, we watched The Flash, Arrow, Gotham. I know Gotham's not Marvel, I don't think. I could be wrong. But I like all of those kind of superhero things. Kind of falls in my nerdy side. So I absolutely love the movie. There's a couple other movies that I want to see, but the Hubs doesn't. So I need to find someone to go with me, or I may just wait until they come out in Redbox. I really want to see Insurgent, and it's still showing at our theater here. And because I really like Divergent, and I'm one of those people that if I start a series, I have to finish it. Even if I think the movies are terrible, if I have started it, I have committed. So I have to go through and watch all of them. But that may be another one. I don't have to see like everything opening night. Even though I'm committed and I've seen the first one, I'm not that picky. I'll wait until it comes out in Redbox or a movie store and rent it. So I've got that coming up. I'm trying to think, since I don't have show notes, if I've talked about everything. I think that's everything. Wait, no. My brain's a little off kilter because I just got home from a meeting for the Arkansas Fiber Fest, and we've got some exciting news. We have all of our teachers and our classes finalized, and we have our vendor list mostly done. I everyone that has signed up so far, we will be releasing here pretty soon. Registration is going to open. Everyone ready with their pens and papers and calendars? Registration for the Arkansas Fiber Fest will open May 16th, Saturday. It's a Saturday, and we are going to open it at 10 a.m. So you can jump on and get all the classes you want. We'll be making announcements on our website and in Ravelry and on Facebook. So I've got lots of work headed my way. Oh, sorry about that. So I am in charge of registration. So I'll be getting all of that up and ready for all y'all to get your classes. And I'm so excited for September, y'all. I don't even think I have the words. But I'm so excited to be there and meet some of y'all. So I hope that some of y'all can come out to the Arkansas Fiber Fest. And I think I'm most excited to see Elizabeth Green Musselman. She's our keynote speaker on Friday night. And she's also going to be teaching some classes. I'm not planning on taking any classes because I'm teaching one myself. And then the rest of the time, I'm pretty sure I'll be pretty busy checking on registration and making sure that everything else is kind of going well as part of my job as being one of the board members and planners for the event. But I think I'll probably fangirl Elizabeth Green Musselman a little bit. I have watched her podcast, and I am working my way back through all of her older episodes. So yeah, I'm really excited to meet her in person. So I've got lots of work ahead of me. I've got lots of knitting and crocheting ahead of me. If you guys have noticed, the one project that you guys have not seen once again is the Rainbow of Doom. It's still sitting in hibernation, and I really need like a kick in the pants to work on that and get it done, or at least work on it and make some progress. So, in all honesty, I think that project bag is sitting in the back seat of my car. I think the last time I took it with me when we went over to our cousin's house a couple weekends ago, and the project bag didn't even make it back in the house. So I need to make sure that gets brought back in. So hopefully if I can see it every day, I can, maybe work out and pull on a piece or two, because right now it's out of sight, out of mind. I just pick up my sweater and knit. But I really need to get back working on that. Trying to think. I think that brings us to the end of the show, y'all. I know I've kind of been short here these last couple weeks, but you know what? Sometimes a shorter podcast is awesome. Maybe you only have, let me check the time. Maybe you only have like 30 minutes to sit down with me, or 40 if I can't read the time on the camera. But sometimes shorter is better. So yeah. With that, I'm gonna say keep on stitching, y'all.